I pressed record there and there. I'm recording.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Can I go?
Yeah.
Can I go?
Yes.
Can I go?
No.
You sure?
Yes.
You sure?
Maybe.
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all the geeks out there in Our Little Geekdom, and welcome to episode 5 of our beautiful, wonderful, what is it called again?
Our Little Geekdom?
Our Little Geekdom, yes, that's what the podcast is called. I have memory issues, as you can obviously see. I don't always remember
It's because
exactly
he got
everything.
rid of his hair.
Yeah, you see, my hair was my brains, and now it's all gone, so, I just got stupider. Anyway, so, yes, here we are, episode 5 of Our Little Geekdom, and I'd like to welcome the only two, OtterDen. What's up, OtterDenGaming? How you guys doing?
Good.
You've got Lady on the left and Machine on the right. They are also a content creating couple here down there in South Africa. Unfortunately, we can't say here in South Africa because we're in Scotland.
Well, it
doesn't
used
count.
to be here in South Africa, so.
Yes, it did. It used to be. But yes, so I think the first thing we need to do is tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Do you want to start?
No, you start.
Oh, jeez. Machine's also on the not so much brain cell train today. Well, we are OtterDenGaming. So Otter Lady and Otter Machine. We'll do streamers on Twitch. I've now taken over the channel full time. But Machine does stream with me from time to time. I play a lot of horror variety games. And we've recently started up a YouTube series as well. But our main focus is Twitch content creation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we started back in
2018.
2018.
Yeah, this month will actually be year 3 of being on Twitch.
Yeah.
Streaming. Yeah. So for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't. It's actually quite crazy to think we've been doing this for 3 years. I never in my wildest imagination think that I'd be doing this for this long and even go full time.
Yeah.
Because it's a hell of a leap and it's a sacrifice you make. It's either you make it or you break it, or you make it work. You just ride it out. And I'm just riding it out. Because we never know, a year from now things could be completely different. So
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
enjoying it. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So, obviously, ourselves being one of the other couples in South Africa that was actually doing streaming at the same time. I think, well, not streaming, but we started creating YouTube videos at around the same time you guys started streaming to Twitch. As far as I know,
Yeah.
but we were
Sounds
doing
about
videos on YouTube and
Yes.
things like that, and we focused more on that. And as you can obviously see, we've gone back to doing the videos only because we're better at it. We're not very entertaining on Twitch.
Not like you guys.
Yeah, we're not like you guys. We're not very entertaining on Twitch, so we decided to move back to that side. So, being a couple in gaming, I mean, I think one of my questions would be is what got you into wanting to actually do the streaming as a couple?
It was originally me having my own channel and him having his own, and then we kind of like had each other on each other's streams. And then Machine actually wanted to do the whole why don't we do this together, but we didn't have the kind of knowledge we have now with how we do things. And we also had a couple of friends and viewers kind of push the idea.
Yeah. A lot
And
of our viewership did push the idea to us to just merge into one unified thing,
Channel.
one unified brand, where before it was
Lady Battery and Machine.
Yeah, I
But
remember
separate.
that.
And then
Yeah.
eventually we decided to rebrand sooner than later, because it's easier to rebrand when you're earlier, when your channel's early, instead
Yeah,
of
that's
doing
true.
it much later, because then it becomes more difficult. And already my personal, individual channel was already Otter themed, so it just made it easier. Do the merging and do the Otters, and then it became OtterDenGaming. It actually became OtterDenGaming at the end of 2018, and we started in 2018. At the end of 2018, it became one channel, so it didn't actually take that long.
no. Yeah. But I was pushing hard on the idea for the merging, and she was actually against it.
I was very
Initially, she was-
indecisive
yeah.
because this was kind of like my
It's your baby.
It was my
It was-
baby,
it was
and
her-
now
It was her
Ironic-
idea. Yeah.
ironically enough, it's now it feels like we've gone backwards.
I just back
Because
to
we've
yeah.
merged, and now I'm doing my own thing on my own. But you come in from time to time, so it's weird. It's weird out.
Yeah, but I'm
It's
very
weird.
much part of the stream in the background
Yeah.
because I do all the technical stuff.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I can't be on stream as much as I want is because I work a full-time job, and this
You-
is Lady's job. So obviously,
It is now.
she's now the main focus, but it's still still seen as a two-person brand. It's just I'm not there as much. That's the difference.
Everybody knows about you, so
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you want to do it full time with Lady at some point?
Yeah, actually, I would. Yeah, I would. Yeah, but it's difficult because actually, she's gained a huge following doing this on her own, and because sort of I would say a good 90% of the content she's done has been single player games. So like, how do you do it as a partnered thing? You know,
it's difficult
Yeah.
because,
Yeah.
in all honesty, there aren't many games out there that would appeal to us for us to kind of stream. That isn't grindy or a shooter or a survival game.
yeah, co-op games are usually short. Multiplayer games
Yes.
get old quick. We don't have that setup like the competitive people do, where they have the main game
Yeah,
that they stream like
Yeah.
clockwork. Ladies
and
taken
variety.
ladies variety, which means it's like one game this week, the next week's a different game, which means that less likelihood of her getting bored, and there's always something new for the viewership.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. I think that's why we also went back to the YouTube thing, because like the only game that we play together is 7 Days to Die, because it's something that we both like. Like I like finding the zombies and making friends with them, and Ziff likes the grind. So it's a good compromise for the both
Yeah.
of us. But finding games that you can actually play constantly on like Twitch and stuff, to have that constant thing where it's both of you on stream, it is very difficult to actually find them that matches both of your likes at the same time as well.
Funny enough, there is a game that we've been playing the crap out of for the past few months now
Like every
with
day.
friends.
Yeah.
But it's a game that I will not stream because it's difficult when you've already built up an audience based on the kind of games that you play, and then you play something completely different that people won't necessarily find appealing. It's Elder Scrolls Online, and it's an MMO, so you can't really incorporate an MMO into your stream when you're like horror and, you know, oddball games. MMOs aren't very entertaining to watch unless you're a fan of the game.
Yeah.
Well, we are a
Yeah.
fan. Oh, I mean for viewers.
viewers.
Yeah. that means if we had to make something like Elder Scrolls Online, like a main game that she streams every day, and you know, and I stream with her, whatever, you would probably lose a big fair chunk of the viewership,
Yeah.
because the viewership's been built up around like horror games and variety
Me
in single
crapping
player.
my pants.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
So it's difficult. It's a very high risk, and also like we're not that good at ESO. I mean, we're not at the level. We're not on a high level. So,
But besides
play
that,
casually,
I
yeah.
think with any game you should play it because you enjoy it, not because you're good at it.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely.
I just think that for couples, like you guys know for a fact, that it's difficult to find a game that you can play together on Steam that isn't repetitive after the 5th time you stream it. So
like Warframe.
what do you play? What do you play? You know? So it's, even a game that I play a lot on Steam that is repetitive as all hell, Phasmophobia. I love that game to death. The updates are amazing. He's changing things all the time. It's a multiplayer. Played with machine, I can play it with viewers, but it is so repetitive. It's I cannot play that game for 7 hours a day. I can't. It's
I
just
should
too,
imagine
it's
it would
too
be
much.
difficult.
It's a great game, but after 3 hours, you're done. Wanna
I
stop?
think once a week,
Yeah.
which what I'm trying to do now is
Yeah.
fine.
Mm.
But not every day. Not every day. So it's hard. It's hard. Finding
No, I can
that
imagine it being hard.
that
Jeez.
that compromise and that common ground. That's
Yeah. No, I definitely understand where you're coming from. I mean, it's you know, you got decisions on what games are actually valuable to play and what games are worth actually playing. You know, and that's the big thing. We've had that issue countless amounts of times. I mean, we played like Call of Duty, for example. You know, but you can only play it for so long before people
Yes.
get bored.
Borderlands, where
yes.
like you also can only go so far before people get bored. Warframe as well. We also tried the Warframe thing. There's
Yeah.
only so much you can actually do.
Yeah, but funny enough, we think that the series that we've started now with 7 Days to Die seems to be leveling things out now. People are going to start like coming in as a constant viewership where they actually come in and watch us screw around in 7 Days to Die. I mean, the editor, our new editor, is doing a great job of making people laugh, which is exactly what we need.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
Yeah, no, it looks good. I watched the video. It looks good.
Yeah, so everything's changing just a little bit, obviously from our side when it comes to that. So we do understand the you can call it the headache of trying to figure out what game you can actually play together. So I do definitely understand where you guys are coming from. I mean, I know that you guys were playing, I think it was Escape from Tarkov?
No, we don't play that.
No, they
was-
were. No, it was.
We don't. We don't
game.
even own EFT. Funny enough, that's actually one game that I said I would never buy or play because it's a little bit too hardcore. Because
Yeah,
I
it's
know
too
the game
hardcore
is
for us.
very realistic.
Yeah.
And when it comes to our shooters, we've got a very strong competitive background with our first-person
Okay.
shooter games. We prefer more arcade-style games, so
Okay.
non-realistic, like your Warzone, and we come from Battlefield, so
Yeah,
those
okay.
kind of games is our jam. But EFT is it's a bit too serious.
It's like
I
playing
feel
Arma.
like
Yeah, like the
Oh,
Arma, yeah.
don't
It's a bit
go
the
there.
whole concept
It's
of
just-
going in and losing your stuff, that high risk, high reward gameplay, doesn't really fit in for us. Both of us.
Yeah.
which is
Yeah,
not the
no.
case.
yeah, not the way we play games.
Yeah, we're very casual. And speaking of casual, we still play
Siege.
quite a lot of Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But casually.
Casually, yeah. We don't even play
Not
the.
competitively.
We don't play ranked. Yeah.
No, it's about having fun at the end of the day, and you know, that's not our idea of fun. Other people might enjoy it, which is fine, because that's what they like. But
Yeah,
for us, no.
We used to stream a lot of
Actually.
Siege in the early days.
Yeah, we did when we first got it.
Yeah, when we first got it. Yeah.
It was fun. It was good.
But I think it's nice that both of you do it together as well, because like obviously there's a lot of couples out there that only one of the partners is streaming or playing games and stuff, and it obviously causes a bit of tension sometimes. But I'm not sure about you guys, but I know for us it's not something we ever have to worry about, because it's something that we both enjoy and you share it together, whereas other couples that I've noticed where only one of them does it causes a lot of fights and a lot of problems.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's nice to have that person, but it does also sometimes cause fights. I'm not sure about you guys, but yeah, I forgot my point that I was trying to make. I don't remember.
I don't know. You can't
I think
ask me.
the point is it's easier for couples like us because we both share the passion
Yeah.
for content
Yeah.
creation. Because I mean, I'm passionate about our channel as much as Lady is, and I'm always like working on it in the background. Lady throws me ideas or changes I need to make, and I work on it. And we
Yeah.
both get creative in it, you know. I mean, sometimes she doesn't agree with things I do. I mean, we've had, for instance, just a small example. I put in sound effects. I just started throwing in new sound effects in the channel, and she did not like them. She did not agree with them. The humor was very not didn't line up with her humor. So what I did is actually I took those sound effects that I created, and I gave them to another friend of ours that's also a streamer, and he uses them now, and he loves them because it fits in with his humor. Yeah. They were slightly offensive.
You gotta pass stuff by the lady. You can't just do things on your own.
Yeah.
Like that.
Well, she wasn't nasty about it. She just said, I'm not a fan of the sound effects, to be honest. She just told me, I don't like the new sound effects you added. Can you get rid of them? And I'm like, cool. Okay. Done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you got to make compromises where compromises are due, especially when it comes to the content that's being created. You know.
Yes.
I mean, like with Kez and myself, bringing Evil Toast in as our editor, and having him actually jump on and do the essentially the editing for our videos. You know, we've basically given him free rein to be able to work on it, only because his sense of humor seems to work with ours. So he finds points where we'll do something stupid and he'll make it even funnier than it already was.
Yeah.
So you know, I'll get but if you're with a zombie, and I'll start beating the crap out of it, and I'll just start, you know, making noises while I'm doing it, and he'll focus on those noises and he'll make it just sound even funnier, and it makes me laugh even harder, which is good. It's what you want, because you know other people enjoy the comedy behind it. He also edits these videos, but I mean, the editing is so very slim with this. He basically just makes sure that the videos are running on the correct levels. Might pop in
That we all look very pretty.
Yeah, and that we all look very pretty. He's got to make sure we look pretty for the videos. he may pop in like a picture once in a while where we'll say like, oh, maybe we'll get him to do this, and he'll pop in a picture saying I will not, just as a joke or something like that. But you know, it's always good to see that in the videos. It's quite funny. I mean, no one listening to the podcast will see it, but. If you're watching the video, you'll see that sometimes he pops in his face with the "I will not" or "ha ha" or anything. It adds to the you know, him being part of the team, which is quite awesome.
Yeah. What made you guys do your new YouTube series with the TikTok ghost videos and stuff? Because like I was talking to Ziv before we started the podcast, and I said it's actually quite funny that you do it, because I'm a lot like Lady with the way you think, and Zip is a lot like Machine. So
Yes.
it's quite interesting to watch like your reactions and the feedback and stuff. But what made you decide to do it, and all those lovely things that go with those questions?
So, from time to time, I reach a bit of a wall with my Twitch streaming. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of other full-time content creators can understand that we all reach a point where you feel that what you're doing isn't good enough. Your viewership is stagnating, and it's just not going the way you want it to go. So we always go back to, you know, these advice videos that Machine watches, Alpha Gaming, Harrisella, and he actually has like a lot of really good videos and tips on how to grow your stream. And one of the tips he gave was obviously to expand your content, just not on Twitch, because Twitch is one of the hardest platforms to actually grow on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the one word of advice he gave was, you know, create content on YouTube that isn't kind of what's second, like
Don't create content on YouTube with content from Twitch.
Yeah.
Don't just put your Twitch clips on YouTube. We did that, but it didn't really work.
It doesn't.
I mean, he said it. He gave that advice, but it's all we had in terms of content. It's basically
It's like secondhand content.
It's secondhand content, basically.
Because if your YouTube viewership will always be different from your Twitch, and the main idea is to bring those people over. That is the end goal.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's gonna take a lot of time to get
Yeah.
there. Because, like, you know, being consistent anywhere with anything is the key to growth. And I love spooky shit. I thrive on paranormal stuff, watching paranormal investigators on YouTube, being like mildly or weirdly obsessed with the afterlife. And it's just, I believe that there is more to life after death. Machine is a skeptic, and I'm like, why did we react to this kind of stuff? I love it. He doesn't like it as much as I do, but he's on board with the idea.
Yeah, I sometimes watch the videos with you. If
Yeah.
you're in bed watching on our tablet, I'll watch with her. It's
And
interesting.
I just thought it would be something refreshing from what we do on Twitch.
Yeah.
And also, you see it on our YouTube video. You don't see this kind of stuff on our Twitch channel, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
So, and also it's short, it's not long, so it keeps the attention of the viewer. Because you don't want to
Yeah.
create something that's like an hour long.
Yeah. Especially now that the YouTube is essentially, it's new. It's like a baby now.
Yes.
Because we basically, the YouTube's been sitting, it's been there for a while, for years, but it's been sitting stagnant, just doing nothing.
Has done nothing.
So now we can't just throw at it like 30
40.
minutes, 40-minute videos. You just start small and maybe do longer feature like
Yes.
stuff, but shorter is better.
Yeah.
You know, like 10 minutes ish is good.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
we're working with that.
we
and-
tried a couple of the videos are 20 minutes. But,
Yeah.
we
I
got carried
said, oh,
away.
it's gonna be a short video. It ended up being like almost half an hour. I'm like, oh shit, you get so carried away in the videos. And
Yeah, that's
actually-
true.
I'm really enjoying them. Finding the videos though is a little bit difficult. You gotta like research TikTok
Yeah.
deep and wide. But it's nice. It's nice. It's different. I know that a lot of people do this kind of stuff, but for us it's new, and we're it's testing the waters,
Yeah.
seeing how it goes. If it doesn't work out, we'll try something different. But I mean,
Because I was bugging Lady for months, literally months.
to do
saying,
something.
we need to diversify.
Yeah.
We need to start creating content on either YouTube or Instagram that's not
Related
content from
to-
Twitch.
yeah,
Maybe
not-
related, but not
Yeah.
directly stripped from Twitch. Put on
Yeah.
that. Because it's just, you can see it's secondhand content, and people that are on those platforms that are new are not going to get it. They're not going to.
Because it's out of context.
It's out of context. A lot of the
Yeah.
jokes are out of context, and the viewers might understand, but new people won't. So it doesn't help
Yeah.
you grow. So I've been bugging Lady like we need to do something on these other platforms, and then she came up with the idea. Let's do paranormal reactions, and I said, okay, great, let's do it. 'Cause-
And that's that.
and that's how it started. It's very new for us. I mean, you know, we've just recorded our fourth.
Fourth, we
video.
just finished now before we got into the call with you guys.
Yeah, literally.
So
just
Machine
finished.
still has to finish the editing, but I mean,
It's
it's-
fine.
Well, I think it's a cool idea because, especially because Machine is a skeptic and you believe it, and the different reactions. Because a lot of the time, on the other videos that I've seen, it's everyone that just believes it or everyone that
Yes.
doesn't believe it. So you've got both sides of a coin, and you can argue and say, no, but look, it is real, or no, it isn't. Look, there's a string there somewhere, like that. What the doll with the legs that was
Yes.
moving, and you guys had that conversation about it, where someone could have been pulling it, or there was someone there, and stuff like that. It's pretty cool to see that you it from both sides, basically, because it's like I said, I'm like you, lady, I believe it, and Zip is a
Yeah.
skeptic, so it's
It
quite
helps.
interesting to see the responses.
it helps having watched all these paranormal videos as well, because there's a lot of stuff that you'll see on like YouTube paranormal investigators. The stuff that they uncover is completely different to the stuff people put on TikTok. So I mean, you can see when someone is bullshitting you or when someone is being legit.
Yeah, unfortunately for us, our choices are limited also. in our
Because the videos are so short as well.
And, we've chosen TikTok as a platform to get the content from, because if you take content from YouTube,
Say goodbye
Yeah.
to your YouTube channel.
can't do that.
Yes.
Say
Yeah.
goodbye to your YouTube
It doesn't matter,
channel.
even if you, unless it's a short piece, like it's really dangerous to use another YouTuber's content. Even if you say, like, you give
You
credit,
give them credit, yeah, they can still come after you.
Yeah,
It's
fair
very-
use and all that.
It's-
it's highly
YouTube's-
risky.
Yeah,
It's very
YouTube's
risky.
fair use. It's very dangerous water when you tread YouTube's fair use. You've got to be very careful what you can and cannot take.
Yeah.
You can, for example, I mean, if Kez and I decided that we wanted to review videos or things like that, we are able to take from, or review games, sorry, we are able to take
Yes.
from companies, from the company's website, take their trailers and,
yeah.
you know, pop it up and things like that. But if you take another content creator's
property.
essentially their video
Yep.
and just fully upload it, and then that's it. You can't really do that. You'd have to actually, I mean, you know, like I said, there's a thing called fair use. You can take another content creator's video and criticize it. So you can do the use the video as a criticism for whatever purpose that is considered fair use. But again, I mean, Kez and I have we've been treading this water for a while. We don't generally take other people's content. We create our own because
Yes.
we're not risking the backlash and all that stuff. And I don't have time for other people's, you know,
So much
shit.
drama.
It is.
Yeah, to say
It
the
is.
least, you know, it's just, you know,
It's not worth it.
it's not, you know, I mean, the amount of drama, even in the Twitch space, the amount of drama that these content creators give each other, it's like, why? I mean, you know, why?
All you want to do is just make content for people to enjoy.
Yeah,
I mean, that's why we're all doing it at the end of the day.
Exactly.
If only life was
it's-
that simple, hey?
and life is never that simple, though, is
If
it?
only. No.
But yeah, that's the whole thing behind it, though, is that you know, they create this drama for each other, and it gets all, you know, they'll politicize it however they can so that they can be the winning party. And yes, you just saw, if you did see Kez's arm pop up there, that's, just Kez. But yeah, they'll politicize
It's a
it.
spooky ghost. It's not me.
They'll
Ghostly
run on a
arm.
politicization of whatever they decide to do. And I like I've said before, and Kez and I have been adamant about this one. We do not bring politics into any of our videos.
Ew.
That includes any of our podcasts. So,
Yeah.
you know, we try to keep it as PG as possible and for everyone to be entertained. So that's why we like to do it this way. And while we talk about things like games and what was that?
Lady
I
messing with
messed
my arm.
his
Yeah.
armrest and it just went down. And he's like, oh.
Why are you messing with my chair?
Because it's fun.
Because I can.
You know, we're miles away from each other in this room. Kez and I are quite far away. From
And there's
each
a
other.
screen separating us,
And
so
there's a
we
green
can't
screen
mess with
separating
each
us.
other.
Oh, is she behind you?
Yeah, she's behind him.
Ah,
She's
that's-
behind him to my left. There she is.
Yeah, we are literally on top of each other. Like, see, couldn't get any closer. Otherwise, the chairs are crashing.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
our office is small, but we've managed to find a
Make it
good way
work.
to actually to make it work exactly. But here's some interesting stuff. Do you guys have Game Pass?
No. No, we
So
don't.
this is okay. I know you don't have it, but this is something interesting that just came out on Game Pass. Kez and I obviously have Game Pass. Otherwise, I wouldn't be speaking about it. They've just given us access to EA Play. So we can play all the EA Play games on Game Pass now. All the games on EA that they have on their playlist and all that stuff that you can play for free if you sign up for them, you can now get on Game Pass.
Well, another reason to possibly get it, I'm sure you guys heard the news, is that Microsoft bought Bethesda, so there's all the Bethesda stuff on there as well now, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe because I haven't gotten a chance to play Doom Eternal. I think that'll also probably include Doom Eternal.
It does, yes. I'm looking at playing.
Bethesda own id. That means Microsoft owns id now.
Yes, Microsoft owns everything from
Wow.
Bethesda. You can play Oblivion. You can play Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim, all on Microsoft now. There's Wolfenstein. Hang on, I've got it's open. I don't know why.
I think they also own ZeniMax, eh?
Yeah.
They do.
No,
They own
ZeniMax
ZeniMax as well.
was the head company. ZeniMax sold Bethesda. Because ZeniMax was the head company that bought Bethesda.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So you can play Fallout 76.
Ugh, no thanks.
Doom 3, Morrowind, Dishonored 2, Doom 2. Those are just some of the games. Rage, Wolfenstein, Skyrim, Oblivion, Fallout 4, Wolfenstein: The Old Blood,
So
The Evil
many.
Within, Prey, and that's not even everything. That's just some of the stuff that they have here.
So that's now all available.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
Game Pass.
It's all available.
But is that on
Uh,
like the premium one, or is that on the entry level one?
entry
We
level.
have the normal one.
Yeah, we have just the normal one. I mean, that was what was so surprising to me is that EA that I can actually that we can play games on the EA Pass as well, with just the standard Game Pass. And I was like, wow, okay. So
Yeah.
and there you
That's
can play
crazy.
like Star Wars Squadrons. You can play the Jedi Fallen Order. You know, I mean, like those aren't very old games. You know, they've only just
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all
recently come
recent.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's
and you can play
crazy.
all of those. It's madness. All of the Battlefields, like everyone. I just started playing the story for Battlefield 4. It is buggy as hell.
And to get Doom, you have to do it because there's a second part that's being released or has released or something like
Just
that.
the DLC for Doom Eternal just released the part 2. I know.
Yeah.
I don't have it though. It's the only game on that I really want that I don't have. I have most of like those games. We both have most of those games on Steam. Like I've got Rage already. I've got
Yeah.
all the Elder Scrolls games already. Like I would say 95% of the games I want to play I already have on Steam.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
getting
like it.
things like these passes, getting like the various subscription-based things,
Mm.
it never really appealed to me because I hate not owning games.
yeah, me too. I know exactly.
It's one of
where
those
you're
things
coming
like I prefer owning physical games if I can, but now
Yeah.
from.
on
Yeah.
PC,
On
we're
digital.
obviously PC gamers, so there's no point because it's so expensive to get physical copies.
That no, so hard to find these days, and also
Yeah.
Yeah.
most of the PCs that come out don't have CD-ROMs like the PCs
Yeah.
that Kez and I have. We don't
Yeah.
have CD-ROMs.
It has to be like an extra thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's
you
like an
literally
added feature.
you're buying a box with a code.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I remember
So-
when I got Doom 2016, I've got the box, the original box with a little mini poster and stuff, and I put the DVD in my DVD ROM. Okay, and I proceeded to install the game. The game
You never needed
installed.
it again.
The game installed about 50% of it off the DVD. Then I had to download the rest, which is another
Yeah.
70 odd gigs. And I was like, what's the point of this? And that was the last time I bought a physical game, and I was like, never again. I'm not buying physical games again because there's no point.
Because you're gonna have
Yeah.
to download it anyways.
Mm,
So
yeah.
why
no, I know
bother?
how you feel. But I've always been like a hard copy person myself as well. I always love to actually just have the box in my hand and
yeah.
hold it.
Yeah, when
and all that.
you're that old school, it's difficult.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but you do entice me, I have to say.
Huh?
The Game Pass. Now it
Oh.
entices me because it's such a huge library.
The thing is, the reason why I've got a Game Pass is actually funny enough for games like Forza, Age of Empires, the things that Microsoft actually owned.
Yeah.
When they bought Bethesda, I was like, well, there's just another reason to own
Oh,
Game
yes.
Pass because they're not going to get rid of those games. They're not going to take them off of Game Pass if they own them. So we can keep playing those games on Game Pass. And
I got it for Gears.
she got it, yeah,
Ah.
Kez got it for Gears because she's a big Gears fan. Me, not so much. I've never really been a huge fan of Gears, but you know, yeah.
It's
What
fun
does it
game.
matter
though.
much?
The
It's a fun
single
game.
player.
Yeah, I prefer. With me, I prefer the Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 when it comes to that kind of a third-person, over-the-shoulder kind of game.
Ah.
I'm more of a Mass Effect kind of person when it comes to that.
No, Mass Effect's brilliant. I love Mass Effect.
Yeah.
I've never played any of the
Andromeda,
Mass
not
Effects.
so much though. I wasn't a huge fan of it.
You
The
should,
gameplay-
it's fun.
The gameplay was fun for Andromeda.
Just don't play Andromeda.
No, play Andromeda, but
No.
play it for the gameplay. Ignore the story and the terrible acting. Like my face is tired.
Didn't they make some? Isn't there modders that fixed the game up a bit or something?
Somewhat.
They didn't make hectic changes, so
Yeah.
they did change some of it, but not drastically. So there were still funny things. It was
Yeah.
like an afterthought kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Like there were stupid lines in it. Like I mean, you know, who in their right mind would ever say, and like they get angry with someone and they say, "I'm sorry, my face is tired." Huh?
Yeah.
How does that
Oh my
line even
goodness.
fit
That
in?
was in the yeah. I saw that. Yeah. That's
Everyone ripped on that.
How?
Everyone ripped on that
That's
because
yeah.
hilarious.
Everyone ripped on it. Yeah.
yeah,
It's a
who
bad
uses
writing.
that line? Yeah, that is a terrible line. It was terribly written, and you know, I think they realized the mistake they made when they actually did that. And the big problem is now is BioWare is going down.
Yikes.
So
That-
I don't
Didn't they have two failures? They had that and they had Anthem.
Anthem.
Oh yes, Anthem.
That
the
like
game
two-
nobody.
the game nobody
even
played and
talks about
bought.
anymore.
Two failures right on
Wow.
top of each other, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. It is. It's actually heartbreaking because I don't know if you know about the weekend streams that we do now. I've started my BioWare stream.
Okay.
It's actually not a BioWare stream. It's actually a D&D stream technically. I'm playing all of the games that BioWare actually created and have been taken over by other companies now. Baldur's Gate being one of them. Baldur's Gate was originally created by BioWare. So Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 were actually originally BioWare games. They were bought out by another company and now number 3 is out. Now I'm gonna play it, but I'm a bit iffy about it because I've heard the reviews about it. I don't follow the reviews from the big companies or from like IGNs and all of that because most of them have agendas. I don't follow them. I follow smaller creators, people who I can actually trust to give me a good review. Someone who's going to say to me, dude, this is why the game is good. Take it for what it is. This is why the game is bad. So I've had a lot of mixed from that side, so I've got to do it myself now because when you get mixed reaction from reviewers, the only thing you can do is play it yourself and just see if you like it.
Yep.
So I will be, but again, it's sensitive. But then there's Icewind Dale, there's Dragon Age 1, which was like the best one out of all of them, out of all the Dragon Ages, that is. But you've got that. There's Planescape Torment. There's a whole bunch of games.
Anyway,
Oh, the Star Wars games as well. The
I'm
Star
not doing
Wars.
those BioWare games. I'm not doing those BioWare games.
Are you not going to do Star
he's
Wars?
doing the
Old Republic.
fantasy ones.
Yeah, I'm doing all
is
the
it-
fantasy ones.
Okay.
Except Dragon Age. Kez says she wants to do that.
No, I play Monkey Island. I like the old school ones.
Yeah,
Nice.
Monkey Island's almost done.
My
so-
kind of girl.
Yeah, it's almost done though. So she's almost
No,
done
but
with-
there's
with this one.
there's 2 more, so it's fine.
Yeah, I don't know what she's gonna do after that.
Twiddle my fingers.
No, that'd be fun.
Well,
to watch.
hey, it could
Anyway.
be interesting for people to watch. You sit and twiddle your fingers.
Okay, what's wrong?
Something happened there.
No, he's being fidgety, so I'm trying to keep his
No,
mind
but you're holding my
distracted.
hand and making it very sweaty.
Sorry. I'm not nervous.
Sounds like Kez. It sounds like Kez. Well, there's no need to be nervous. It's just us.
It's just a chilled session.
You're chilled.
But yeah, so I mean, with regards to that, you said you were obviously doing your whole Elder Scrolls kind of thing. You guys are big fans of the Elder Scrolls and all of that.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on the new one that's going to be coming out now that Microsoft has taken over Bethesda? Do you think it's going to actually be Bethesda, or do you think it's going to be the Elder Scrolls saving grace that Microsoft has actually done that because Bethesda's been going downhill? What are your thoughts?
How? Wait.
The 6. Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah, no, I know. Elder Scrolls 6. I mean, it's been teased. There was that flyover.
Yes.
Everyone's
I
saying it's
remember
what's
that.
it? They were saying it's High Rock or Hammerfell or something.
I think it's Hammerfall.
Red Guard.
There's
Red
rumors
Guard,
that
really?
it's a Red Guard. It's going to be called Elder Scrolls 6 Red Guard. But what I'm curious about is what you said earlier. How has Bethesda gone down? I mean, where's
Well, they started going down. Their issues started happening after Fallout 76. Actually, after Fallout.
This is
4.
how he feels though.
No, this is how me and Bethesda actually felt.
a
because
lot
they
of
were the
people
one
are
who got
unhappy with how they handled Fallout 76.
Yes,
Although some people say they made a comeback, and some people say it's fun and it's worth playing. I don't know. There's
Well,
a
we
lot
have
of
to see. I mean, yeah,
lot
exactly.
of mixed reviews. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
so-
but otherwise, other than that, how else has Bethesda gone down? I'm curious.
Well, the thing is, ZeniMax is starting to see a bit of a problem with Bethesda because of the fact that they made a loss on Fallout New Vegas was wildly successful, and Fallout 3 basically just ran on the back of Fallout New Vegas, being a successful game, and it was actually quite a good game. Fallout 3, obviously. Fallout 4 then came out, and apparently it was. I mean, this is according to what I've been obviously listening to myself and watching myself on certain videos and things like that. It's been. It garnered less attention, and it was actually what they call a fail or a flop in comparison with the other games that came out. Then obviously Fallout 76 came out. That was an utter failure. There was Wolfenstein New Order, and that was an utter failure. And yeah, no jokes. These are the games. these are the games that they actually pointed out as utter failures, and ZeniMax obviously sold
on a financial level. I mean,
on a financial level, yes.
They weren't hitting targets.
Yes, not that they were terrible games. It's just that they were. I mean, you know, personally, I think Fallout 4 is actually quite a fun game. I enjoy it.
Yeah. The hardcore players will. I know the hardcore players and the critics of the RPG genre. They don't like what they did with Fallout 4.
Yeah.
Because they focused on these little gimmicks and the crafting thing. It is a fun game. I've played them all. Fallout 4 is great, but they felt like with the third person, the voice acting and third person voice acting, like basically it felt like almost like Witcher. It didn't feel like you made a character. It felt like you were playing a character that was already established. That and the crafting aspect, that and the lack of depth compared to New Vegas. Some of the hardcore Fallout critics were not so keen on it, but still, I thought it was a brilliant game and a AAA title that I thought would sell well because it's a Fallout game. It's a big open world Bethesda title, so I thought it's coasting on the basically. I thought Fallout 4 would coast on the success of Skyrim, basically, because
on its own success.
It's the game after Skyrim. If you think about it.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I like the lore behind it because it seems like the games actually do interconnect. I know it's all just fan theories about how the Elder Scrolls world itself is connected to Fallout's world in some or other aspect, but it's way in the future. So the Elder Scrolls world is far in the future. It's the most random thing I've ever heard. It's such a fan theory. I was like, you know, you'd have to think so far out the box to see it that way. But I can if I try really hard and I think very far outside the box, then I can actually see that happening. But I think, to be honest, my issue is that the critics, the big critics, were the ones that actually destroyed these games. It wasn't the little critics. It was the companies like your IGNs and, you know, the big companies. Those reviews
but they praised all the games, though. I mean,
IGN
got praise.
Yeah, no, 76 didn't, though. That was the whole thing.
No, 76
but 76 was terrible.
No, it was bad.
In the beginning, it was a flop, and I haven't played it yet. We're going to, with Game Pass, we get it for free, so we're going to try it.
But what do you guys... if I don't jump in, he's not going to shut up.
She's nice, eh?
But what are you guys looking forward to the new Elder Scrolls? What are your thoughts on it?
I was just curious about what you're saying about how it's like, how do we think that Microsoft's gonna bring Bethesda out of the slump?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look, it's really tough to say, but I think they'll push more focus into the game. I think, in my opinion, because obviously they've released a small little snippet, I think that Elder Scrolls 6, sorry. I think that Elder Scrolls 6 has been in development for a while. And it's just, I think it's just going to continue as, I think it'll just continue as, look, obviously they've got lead devs that are pushing the various departments to do what they must do.
Yeah.
And at this point, you know, that Microsoft's going to come around and say, okay, lead dev, are you doing your job? Let's see how the game's coming along. And if it's not, then they're going to push the buttons to make things work. Because now it's now on Microsoft's reputation.
Yeah.
To make sure that...
Because now this is now under Microsoft's banner now. So So now Bethesda needs to pull up their socks. So I think it should come out quite good.
Think about it. Just something completely far-fetched from the topic. Another company that's been taken over by Microsoft, which is Mojang Minecraft.
I didn't even know that, actually.
Minecraft was sold. Mojang was sold. Was bought out. What's his name? Not sold Mojang to Microsoft.
It was
and this
a long
was
time ago.
A good couple of years ago.
I think it was 2013 or 2014.
And Minecraft is still doing very well.
Yeah.
So,
I play Minecraft.
I don't think ES6 is gonna be a flop.
Yeah.
I mean, this game was way in development before Bethesda got bought out anyways.
Yeah.
And also considering it's now the game after Skyrim, they have massive shoes to fill.
Yeah,
So
you know what? They've got to pull something
they
seriously.
cannot disappoint. And I mean, also with us being fans of Elder Scrolls Online and playing the crap out of it, the content in which they're pushing constantly. They've got events coming around, which is annual events. They've got all sorts of DLC. They're expanding on the game constantly. I think they're still doing quite a decent job with delivering in terms of the Elder Scrolls franchise.
Although ESO's dev team is not.
It's not the same.
I don't think the team is the same guys that are in Bethesda, as far as I know. Because I remember.
Isn't it?
Is ZeniMax Studios?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I wanted to, but now it does. Does that mean Microsoft owns ESO or not?
Yes.
Okay.
They would, yeah. I don't
Yes,
see
they
why they
do.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
I think
it's the same
it would
IP.
make sense.
They do.
Yeah. Anyways, the content out of ESO has been really good in the past few years. ESO started off as a flop.
It was also like Fallout 76.
Initially, it was
A
really
lot of people played
bad.
it and they're like, no, stop playing it. And then they tried the subscription thing. It was like, wow. And then they
Yeah, I
stopped
remember
doing
that.
that. And then they
made it
released...
one price. Just pay once and that's it.
Yeah, you pay
Yeah, that
once
was
and then that's
a
it.
better
But they
idea.
do have a kind of subscription base, which is not actually a subscription. It's a... What do you call ESL Plus? It's like a membership. So to
It's a
speak.
membership where you get extra stuff.
Where you get extra stuff in the
Yeah.
game and you have access to all the DLC except for the latest
latest DLC.
the latest one. That usually you have to buy, and then when the next one comes out, then that gets thrown in part of the. But I mean, considering the amount of content and stuff you get for the small fee that you pay, you can cancel it any time. It doesn't alter the way you play the game. It doesn't take away from anything. It just adds.
The base game has a lot of content, and
Yes.
it's the cast of the main characters in the main quest line is voiced by multiple famous actors,
Yes.
voice actors, and Hollywood actors.
Which is actually very freaking cool.
A lot of people don't know this, but there's a lot. I mean, they've even got Scarlett Johansson as well in there.
Yep.
And a couple others. Just an example. So it's that I think is a very successful IP. But also, I think the direction that the gaming industry is going is the focus is shifting more towards single player now. The developers out there are starting to realize that there's still a market for single player games.
It's a huge.
It never used to be like that, but look how good Doom and Doom Eternal did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people at EA made the biggest mistake of their lives, saying that no, single player is dead. No one does single player because I've always been a single player person. That's why I don't do multiplayer games. I'm not a huge fan of multiplayer games. I don't like playing against other people. I think that people get salty, annoying, and all I want to do is jump through the screen and beat the shit out of them. So I'm one of those people. So
Yeah.
I like to play by myself. I like to do my own thing. I like to do my own grind. And just do my own thing. It's the kind of person I've always been. So and I can't be the only one that's actually like that, because the proof is in the pudding. Is that you got games that were wildly successful, and EA were like, oh no, single player is dead. When they said that, it actually just spurred on other companies like CD Projekt Red, like Microsoft themselves actually, and many other companies just to go, you know what, we can make single player games and prove that single player is not dead, and they did. And that was the biggest downfall I think EA could have done, because as you saw, their game started, Anthem just went, yeah.
Yeah, and Battlefront 2 as well. Don't forget about what they did with Battlefront 2, with all the loot boxes and all that stuff. They had to turn that around, and apparently
yeah.
Battlefront 2 is functional now and it's fun. It was released free on Epic
Not so long ago.
not so long ago.
I took it. I haven't played multiplayer.
They've changed it up a bit, but what really changed? They ate their own words. That's
Yeah.
right. They ate their own words. They brought out Fallen Order.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars
Yep.
Fallen Order, which is a fully fledged Star Wars single player game without any fluff and no
Ads.
No ads. No
Ads.
funny.
Oh my god, 2K.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's jumping right on 2K.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So clearly you guys know about 2K and their advertising in the middle of a game.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
Oh my god, yes, that was terrible.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah, it was so funny. It's like that was the UFC game. At least that's what I
that's
saw.
right. Yeah.
It's like you have a fight and then during the rest period, advert, you're like, what the fuck?
It's YouTube.
You know, so you're being paid and you can't skip the ads either. It's like,
Wow.
oh my god.
People got so pissed off.
Yeah, and 2K
Well,
haven't stopped.
you-
They're still trying to steal from the gamers. Still to this day, the loot boxes in some of the games, in that NBA game, unbelievable. They're gambling. They've got literal gambling that they're actually sending to kids. So bad that here in the UK, they're actually making it illegal.
Yeah.
That's how bad it's actually gotten. They're talking about making NBA essentially a restricted 18 game because of that, because of the gambling. Literally, it's a slot machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are
And
all loot
that's-
crates and loot boxes
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's not gambling, it's surprise mechanics. And you see all the ministers in this country, they're like, no, that's gambling. So far, Sweden has made it illegal, and I believe that the UK is starting that process now as well. At least Parliament's been looking at it. So, big up to the UK for doing that, because that's a lot of respect for them for actually doing that. The government's actually jumping in there and saying, you know what, we are not subjecting our kids to this, and that is, I like that. I'm very happy about that, because that means that they won't be feeding into an addiction, because gambling is a serious addiction.
It is. Yeah. And it's exploitation.
Even with
Yeah.
here in South Africa,
They banned
apparently
GTA's
GTA, yes,
Gambling. Yeah.
there's a gambling thing in GTA.
Oh yeah, I know.
And yeah, you can't play it.
Yeah, unless you're over 18.
No,
I
it's
know.
completely banned.
They banned it completely.
Completely
Wow.
banned. You can't play it at all.
I think you can play it if you got a VPN for
Yeah.
possibly years.
But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
completely banned. Doesn't matter how old you are, you can't
Yeah.
play the
It's
gambling.
banned. It's outright banned. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, they're different here, because the PlayStation Network registers us as over 18, so we're able to play the gambling part of. We can play GTA quite comfortably. I mean, kids can play GTA comfortably. They shouldn't, because it's restricted 18 for a reason.
It's GTA.
It's
GTA
GTA.
do not belong in the same sentence.
Exactly. But the gambling thing, they have. I think they are stopping it for people who aren't over the age of 18. So you have to be 18 to be able to do that, because
How
it's
do they
gambling.
verify that though?
I don't think they can, to be honest.
Because anybody can just say they're 18 years old and put in a fake date of birth. That's how
Yeah.
I get Steve to stop warning me about certain games. And be like, you need to be as over. Said, yes, I was born in 1939. Let
know-
me look at the fucking game.
They still do that to me, and I put my date of birth and all that crap in, and they still do it. To
No,
me.
it comes up
It's
every
so
time I
irritating.
just
Yeah,
say that
right
I'm
now.
born in
How does Steam not know?
1939.
Yeah, that's a common complaint. How does Steam not know your age? You have your username.
Well, you gotta put your date of birth in there.
You constantly have to put in your
I've
date
had
of
it
birth.
sometimes.
Yeah, no, it's like now I wanted to see if I could get GTA for Steam, because Kiz likes to watch TV in the lounge, and we've only got one PlayStation, and the game's on PlayStation, so I can't play there. So,
Oh no.
I want to put it on the PC so that at least I've got somewhere I can play the game.
Yeah.
But then it's like, are you over the age of 18? It's like, no. My account says I'm not.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Since you guys mostly play on PC and stuff, would you ever do console gaming, or have you thought of getting any of the new consoles and stuff like that?
We've got a PS3. I actually, before you start laughing,
Sorry.
I actually streamed the first Last of Us, and I finished it on stream. And
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed it. We've made a workaround to be able to stream PSD games on OBS Twitch. Which
difficult,
it's
but yeah.
technically not possible, but there is a workaround.
No, you just use the Elgato.
And because I've played this game, I said to Machine it would be nice for us to have a PS4 not a PS5. I'll tell you why in a second. But the PS4
Bloody expensive.
has, well, besides that, the PS4 is well established and it has a lot of games. The PS5, there are still games coming out,
Yeah.
and you
It's
can
not
see a lot of
nowhere near
games that are like
Remastered.
yes, that's the word. Thank you. Remastered that is coming out, but I mean it's already available on the PS4. So why do you want to buy the game? Like,
Well, the thing is, well, maybe we should get a PS5 because a lot of the games for PS4 run on the PS5.
Yeah,
They
they're
just
backward
run-
compatible.
As
Yeah,
far
so
as
the
I know, all
PS5 is a
PS5
PS4, just better.
I guess
Yeah.
so, but there's also the price tag.
There's the price. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
the
Hey,
price
price.
you guys are being ripped off. Hey, holy crap! They did not take your country, or they did not take South Africa into account when that happened, because where we live here in the UK, we earn in pounds. So
Yeah.
a PS5.
It's okay
here-
for us to put a bit away every month
Yeah.
to like, or if, well, in our case, like every week because we get paid weekly. So it's easy for us to say, okay, we'll set aside this amount every week to be able to afford it. But in South Africa, there's,
Yeah, you
you
guys
need
don't
to
have
be
that
like
luxury.
a really like CEO or manager or something like
It's
that,
like
or
10,000
save
rand.
for a very long time.
Yeah, it's 10 grand for the digital edition.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
well,
it's
well,
12 for the. I think
Yeah,
it's 10 for the digital and 12 for the disc version.
Which we would then get the disc version
of
because
course.
I'm a firm
only way to
believer
go.
in buying a hard copy of a game, especially
Yes.
on console.
It's the only way to go. You should see our game collection on the PlayStation. It's long.
Well, also, like, hard copies are better in situations like with what happened with Cyberpunk, where if you have a digital version, you now
they
can't
removed
get
the
it
PSN.
because they've removed it from the store. So
Yeah,
if you've
yeah.
asked for your money back, you can't ever get that game unless you have a hard copy of it.
Yeah,
And also, there's the nice return of actually, like, I bought a single player game. I'm done with it. I can go to my local game store. I can trade it in, and I can buy something else.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, if you hate the
So-
game that much, you know, nowadays I'm more picky about what I buy. But yes, I
But
agree.
it's still, and also
Yeah.
you can buy games secondhand as well.
Yeah, that most of my PS3
That's
games
the
I bought
thing, yeah.
secondhand for like 100 rand each.
It's, you
Exactly.
can get them for like
Yeah.
cheap,
Yeah.
cheap, which
Exactly.
is
I
nice.
mean, we buy PS4 games for really cheap here at places like it's like BT Games. Except
No,
they're
it's
called-
like cash converters.
no
Oh,
CX.
CEX is like cash converters.
Well, no. Okay. Yes,
Getting up.
actually. BT, actually yes. BT
He got it
Games
confused.
is more like game. Here, your BT Games is like our game here.
Game is not the same.
It's not the same thing as game in South Africa. Just so you guys know.
Oh, okay.
Game here is actually a game store. It's literally just games. That's all they
Okay.
deal with. But they're like BT Games.
But funnily, the logo is pink and purple as well.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
it's like you get confused. CEX, I would say. Okay,
It's
you
like
guys
cash
don't know
converters
Nexus.
or
no.
cash crusaders.
No, it's like Nexus more.
You find cheap stuff. That's the
find-
point.
Yeah, it's cheap movies, cheap everything, and you could buy. We found Get Into the Greek on Blu-ray for I think it was 50 pence.
Wow.
So, it's like nothing. You can literally find games for like they've got games that are like £6, £5, and PS4 games usually. Some PS3 games you can find, PS2 games, PS1 games.
Jeez.
You can buy PS1s. Yeah, you can buy PS1s.
They
you can buy
had.
PS2s.
They also had GameCube games.
They have
Nintendo GameCube
GameCubes?
games.
Yeah.
I
So-
have a Nintendo GameCube. It's back in
Yeah.
South Africa, but I used to like that. That was an old gaming thing, but it was fun because the discs were like so tiny.
Yeah, the console was a tiny little cube. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
a-
fun.
It competed with the PS2. It was about the same as
Yeah.
the PS2.
Yeah, they were trying to compete with the PS2, and then they got the only thing was Sony was better in the market, and obviously I
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, Sony has now got their competition because if they don't start putting finger, Microsoft is going to outbeat them. And but it's always good to have competition. That's the whole thing.
Oh, it is.
Same
I
as
think that's-
always, the Microsoft's console is more powerful. It's
Yes.
always like that. It's always been like that. But
Yeah, it's-
the only reason why Sony always beat out Microsoft was the software. In other words, the game selection, the exclusives were always better
Yeah.
on Sony, on the
Yeah.
Sony side.
Yeah, and now Microsoft is starting to buy some more. I don't know. I don't know about the whole Bethesda thing. I don't personally think that Microsoft will go full on exclusive with that, because that's that would be basically cutting off their own nose to spite their faces, because a lot of profit comes from Sony as well. They mustn't forget that, because Sony does actually have a lot of profit.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do that. Yeah.
I don't think they'll be stupid enough to do that. But when it comes to Microsoft, I will not buy an Xbox. I don't see the need to. I've got a big ass PC. We took your guys' advice, actually. Well, I think it was your advice, Machine, about getting a Ryzen 5. So we got a Ryzen 5. We built our PCs.
Just pretty colors. That's all I care about.
Yeah, she cares about the colors. I had to actually choose the specs for the damn thing. So we got the same PC. Okay, to give you an idea, it's the same PC. We got 16 gigs Corsair RAM, Ryzen 5 CPU. I think it was a Ryzen. Yeah, it's a Ryzen 5, and GTX 1660. So it's not the super powerful graphics card, but I can play a lot. I think I can play all games. Not at full graphics, but I can play all the games.
That'll keep you for a little bit.
Yeah, that card's a little bit more powerful than ours.
Yeah.
Ours is an older generation, but the one key nice thing about the 1660 range is that it's got a very powerful video encoder on it. So if you're doing video editing, or if you're doing live encoding, like for Twitch, if you use the NVENC encoder on the 1660, it does a much more efficient and cleaner job than our graphics cards can do.
Yeah, no,
so you don't have to use the CPU to do encoding. You can use the graphics card because it's powerful enough.
Yeah, that was one of the things that the company that we actually bought the computers from. Thanks, PC Specialist. Just so you guys know, they were the ones who actually they when I went through it, I was obviously looking at all the specs of the PCs that they had, and I saw that they had something called the Streamer's PC, and it was basically with it was a Ryzen 7, and we could not afford to buy a Ryzen 7, so we downgraded to a Ryzen 5, and it still does the thing, because you guys said you're using Ryzen 5s and they seem to work fine. So
no, 7s actually.
We got 7s.
Oh, you got 7s?
They upgraded.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you upgraded. Okay. No, we haven't upgraded.
Well, the point that I was trying to make with regards to the consoles and stuff is because
way off topic.
way off topic. Is because PlayStation is looking at new VR things. They haven't released a new headset yet, but they've released the controllers for the PS5. So like VR. Yeah. They look pretty cool and pretty interesting. So, what are your thoughts? I think they look like the Vives kind of things.
I've not seen it. It's difficult to tell because Machine actually just got himself a Quest 2 about 2 weeks ago.
I'm very on top of the VR news. So as soon as the news came out about the PSVR was what's it called? PSVR 2 was semi-announced about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
More or less when you got your Quest.
Yeah, and I heard about it. But the thing is, other than the fact that you need a PS5, you need to when the headset comes out, you have to buy the headset too.
Yep.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think it's going to be cool. I think they're going to implement some really cool things, because already I'm aware of. I've never played with a PS5, but I'm aware the PS5 has very interesting features on the controller. It's got that advanced haptic feedback on the buttons.
Yes.
So if you're playing a racing game and you're using the trigger to accelerate, the trigger vibrates back. It vibrates back, like if the road's bumpy, you'll feel it.
Oh, okay.
So it's more realistic. It's similar to what the Switch did. The Switch has a similar thing. It had its advanced rumble features, where it's it had an example of if you're holding a glass with ice, you'll feel the ice move around, and it's realistic.
Okay.
It feels more realistic. So the PS5 controllers have that feature. So they're gonna probably implement that. This is a rumor.
Yeah.
They're gonna implement that in the VR controllers, where when you're gonna touch stuff, you're gonna feel it through the controller.
That's epic.
That is gonna be epic.
Which is pretty cool, and who knows what other features they're gonna implement, because we don't know, because they've got now they've got all their experience now from feedback from the old PSVR, and the old PSVR is way behind in terms of technology compared to the current state of VR.
It is.
Yeah, but
definitely
yeah, I
is.
think it'll be cool because, like, for instance, the Quest 2 is, I would say, it's a mid-range to budget VR headset. The controllers are pretty basic. They work, and they do have vibration. They're pretty cool. Tracking is really spot on, considering it's inside-out tracking. But like, you do get more premium headsets out there in the market, like
Yeah.
the Valve Index.
What's
the
it like
price-
with them? Sorry.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask that with regards to motion sickness and stuff, what is it like with that?
It suffers heavily from it, though, that's why.
I started playing Phasmophobia on the headset, and I only lasted for about an hour.
Nausea.
Hour and a half. And then I started getting like hectic nausea. So if you're not used to it, it's very jarring. It's very, very jarring. But I think it's something you just gotta keep doing more and get used to it. A friend of mine also recommended that I take motion sickness tablets. But I don't really want to induce that. It's something that you just
Don't
have
recommend.
to.
Yeah, there's
Get
something
used
called,
to.
you know, if out on the sea, if you're on a boat and you talk to Navy people or people that are
Maybe seals.
sailors,
Submarine.
man. If you talk to sailors, sorry. That's what I meant. No. If you go out on a ship, out on the sea, and talk to sailors, they'll talk about getting your sea legs. That's where you
Yeah.
get used to the weird motion of the sea, because what you see, the ocean line is straight, but the boat's moving around, so it makes you seasick. VR is the same thing. There's something called getting your VR legs. It's the same thing. You get used to it because lady has only played Phasmophobia, right? So Phasmophobia has standard thumbstick locomotion, means you move the thumbstick and the game moves you forward. And that's what causes it. Whereas a lot of games have a more comfortable setting where you teleport where you look. And
Yeah, see, I can't do that. Hey?
people that are not used to VR usually pick that option because it's less likely of you feeling motion sickness because
Yeah.
the game isn't moving you. You know what I mean? I prefer locomotion. I prefer to move with
Me
the
too.
thumbstick because it gives you more freedom. It feels more immersive.
It's
It
not
does,
nice.
exactly.
It messes
No, it's
with
not.
your head.
There's another reason why Phasmophobia makes you a bit motion sick is because the frame rate's not great. If the frame rate in the VR headset is not stable and it's not above 60.
He's been working on that, I think, as well. Just checking the updates.
Okay, so yep, our computers aren't. My computer and Lady's same computer. The GTX 1070 in our computers isn't powerful enough to really render VR smoothly. So I've got to choose either choice of lower resolution or lower settings in the games in order to have a smooth experience. If I want the games to look crisp and nice, the frame rate's gonna suffer, and if the frame rate suffers, you start to feel a bit woozy because you know there's a little bit of that stuttering feeling, and that causes motion sickness. And I've felt it myself. Phas makes me like if I play Half-Life Alyx or Phasmophobia, I easily get motion sick. Like I start to feel a bit woozy after a while. But I've been playing a port of Half-Life 1 on the Quest. And it plays at constant smooth 72 frames per second constantly, and I do not get motion sick. I've played that thing for like 3 hours straight and I'm fine.
Yeah.
So the frame rate definitely has an effect on whether you feel woozy or not in VR. So that's another reason why I don't think I'll go for the PSVR. Maybe not, I don't know. But what's cool about something like the Quest, which is now the top VR headset on Steam, by the way, is that it's a 2-in-1. It's its own console with its own set of games on its own market. But you can connect it wirelessly to a PC, and then you can play PC VR games.
Yeah. No, that's
And
pretty
it's
cool.
only $300.
That's
Not
actually not a lot,
sponsored.
eh?
Okay?
Not sponsored.
Well, it's £300 for us as well. I just checked it out now, so it's pretty much the same
expensive.
price. It is.
I'm not sure why she's looking at the price of that. We have a VR.
Yeah, we have a VR and it makes me sick, so I can't.
Oh,
I
what
can't
VR
really
do you
it.
have?
PSVR.
PlayStation.
I got the PSVR. Oh, the
Yeah.
for the PS4, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. To give you an idea, I mean, I can play on the VR. I played Skyrim easily 4 to 5 hours without getting sick, and that's with smooth motion and all that stuff. But again, the only problem, I have a huge problem with the VR's lighting issue with the little lights. If the sun shines into the room,
It doesn't
you're
pick up
fucked.
properly.
Yep,
Oh,
you're
yeah,
fucked. So the gun
Because he
will
uses
suddenly,
the PlayStation camera.
so you'll like pull your bow, and the bow will like start going like this on the screen because the lights
Yeah.
are being affected by it. Look, I have to admit that playing games like I think you probably cuck if you had to play this though, but if you play God, what is it called now? No Man's Sky.
Oh,
Play
yeah?
that on VR. Oh my god, if you fly in space you get so nauseous so quickly.
I tried it.
I've done it, actually. I've played it. No Man's Sky
Yes.
VR.
And how nauseous did you get the first time you actually went into space? The
No,
first
I
time.
didn't get nauseous. No, doesn't get nauseous. I
He's
just
not
lucky.
but he likes the feeling. Okay.
there
No,
was
I
that-
love the feeling
there
too.
was
It was
that-
just-
there's
It's the
that,
same with him.
feeling of rush, like that rushing feeling, like a kind of like
Like when you're in an elevator.
kind of like a bit of an adrenaline
Yeah, when you
surge.
go up and down in like a roller coaster.
A
ride.
wishing
That-
feel.
That feeling you get in your belly.
That rush. The thing is, I'm the kind of person that'll get on a roller coaster over and over, and I'll be fine. And
Yo.
I like getting into elevators and feeling that motion. So that's why I guess I'm very immune to motion sickness in VR. So No
I
Man's
can't
Sky
even
had
do
no
that.
negative effect on me. Actually.
Yeah. No, the first time, it was only once that it happened though. It was the very first time that I actually went into space on No Man's Sky, and I obviously was not used to it because as I went into space, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Stopped for half an hour, got back on, flew around in space. I'm like, yeah, actually, I'm fine, and I carried on playing the whole way. The flight is very difficult with the sticks though. If you're using the little hand
Controller.
sticks, and my
Oh,
God,
yeah.
the controls are so cock if you try to do it like that because you've got to literally use like bend the thing forward.
Oh,
like
you
that,
gotta
back,
move
and-
the stick around. Okay.
Yeah, because you can actually grab it. Like, for example, you can grab the joystick. So you got to use your trigger on the one
On the
one
move.
handle. You got to like grab it. So you got to grab your joystick and you can like, move it to fly the ship around. And the other one controls the speed, so you can go up and down, up and down, according to
Yeah,
speed
yeah.
and things like that. And to get out of the ship, you gotta lean over, grab it, and lift. You can open up the cockpit. It is epic. What the guys have done was amazing. I thought that they did a fantastic job with the game. I actually refuse to play No Man's Sky without a VR now because it's the only way to play the game.
He's so used to it. Would you guys ever get those? Like, I've seen it sometimes, and we've discussed it on and off again. Whether we would actually get those the rigs that you get where you like strap yourself in on
Like a conveyor belt.
yes. Would you get that for like your VR where you literally will be walking around, and obviously it keeps you safe and stuff, but I
a
think
good
it makes it
workout.
more interactive because it's like on a proper conveyor belt and tied in this thing.
Remember I showed you, I think we watched a clip of somebody playing Skyrim in it,
Yeah. Yeah.
which
Yeah.
was quite cool. I mean, I would like to experience something like that. Maybe then you'd get less motion sickness because because you're actually walking forward. You're telling your mind that you walk forward. Your body's walking forward in the so
Yeah.
I don't know. I would like to experience it, but I don't think we have the space.
yeah, we don't have the space for it. But I
We
think
don't.
it's probably limited. It's probably got a very limited application in the games, and
Yeah.
also it's a very niche. I know those products aren't really mainstream. It's a very niche product, so I reckon it's going to be
Probably
very
very
expensive, especially
It
for
is
South
very
Africans.
expensive. I mean, this is carried on recording, so this will probably be in the podcast anyway. Regardless, it's just on video. It's going to have like blank screen.
Rich stuff.
I'm sure your editor will think of something funny to put in there.
Oh yeah, you know what? I trust Evil First. I think he's going to do something
Yeah.
epic with it. So he always does. But
So this catwalk scene is pretty cool, but
yeah.
it's out of the question for me.
Price wise, I mean, I'm not
moment.
paying that much for. Look, I think it's a brilliant idea, and I would pay that much once it is tried and tested. But apparently, it has been a few times. But I just need to be sure that it's actually worth my time actually doing it first before I do something like this.
Yeah.
And invest that kind of money into a program, into a system like this. Because look, I think a reason why I need is to lose weight.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. Yeah.
That's why I want to get it, is so that I can lose weight. And that
I
would
mean,
be...
imagine you had to physically walk and run everywhere in Skyrim. I mean,
Oh,
you'd
jeez.
lose weight in no time. I mean, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, here's a dragon, I need to run away. You know, like it would be intense. You'd lose weight in no time.
Yeah. No, it would be unbelievable. That would be, I mean, you know, that's the reason why I would get it, is just for that, so that I can actually get a good workout. You know.
That's all good.
Yeah.
Yes,
Where do you see the OtterDeng going, and what are your plans for the future? Tell us.
gosh, the last time I got asked that, I was in high school. To be honest with you, I have
Job
no
interview.
idea. I think streaming, we're taking it day to day, quite literally.
Day by day. Yeah.
Yep, day by day.
Yeah.
Whether this works out for me, whether it doesn't, I don't know. Unrealistically speaking, I would like for us to not exactly blow up. A lot of people always say they want to be like a really big streamer with thousands of viewers and make a shit ton of money, but realistically it's not that easy.
Yeah.
My comfort level in terms of viewership, as well as obviously income, would be something like, you know, like I'd be happy with 100 viewers. You know, I'd be the type of person that I don't want a community that is so big that I don't even know who comes into my stream anymore, because I can't remember, because there's just so many bloody people. I like being involved with people that come in and they'll talk to me a bit and then they'll disappear and then they'll come back, and I know exactly that, okay, this person's been in the stream before, you've told me this about your life, I can remember. You know, because my brain sometimes doesn't work, and quite honestly, there have been times where someone's like, oh, do you remember me? I'm like, yeah, I remember you. No, I don't. Yeah. Like, no. Like, it does happen from time to time, but I think my dream isn't, you know, I think I'm probably one of the few streamers that would say this. My dream is not exactly to become a Twitch partner, because I feel that being a Twitch partner is earned. You need a community to back that, and I feel that we're not at that point yet. I mean, we're getting there slowly. It takes time, but I like the organic growth, the gradual organic growth. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm not unhappy with the direction it's going at the moment, but I'm always welcome to changes.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't think anyone's really happy with that, though. The changes that
No,
Twitch are bringing.
I think that the key to a successful channel is to just keep working at what you're doing. Just don't stop. Don't settle for anything. Keep improving. Keep bettering your content.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
You can't just settle and be like, this is it. I mean, you go back to any streamer that started streaming like 5-6 years ago. You look at their content then compared to now. It's completely different.
Yeah,
People
exactly.
change their stuff up all the time. It's what makes it so awesome. You
Yeah.
know, you're not bound to. Your stream has to look a certain way. You can do
Yeah.
whatever the hell you want with it, which is nice.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I think in a few years' time, I'd like to keep doing this, and I'd like to be comfortable in a community with people that I know for a fact that every time I go live, they will be there. Because I think a lot of people suffer from this little bit of anxiety of, when I go live, are people going to be there? Is there anybody watching me? Do people even care that I'm streaming? I'm sure you guys feel that way as well.
I've stopped caring.
Like it works on you. It really does. And it
Yeah.
can get you down. It can get you down, and it's a very difficult, dark place to get out of.
Yeah.
But once you're comfortable with where you are and know that I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna try something different, which we're doing with the YouTube. You can see how it goes from there and then just kind of ride it out.
Yeah, no, I've from my side, I've kind of stopped caring. I've gone on the route of, you know, if people watch, they watch. If they don't, they don't. I will literally entertain myself. Yeah, if you've watched
that's
it,
important.
That and also don't have too much expectations.
Yes.
I always go in with the mindset of, okay, it's another stream. I'm probably gonna get like 2 or 3 people in chat. It's fine. You know, if all else fails, I'll talk to my freaking bot. But you never know.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how I am. I entertain myself more than anything. I entertain myself. So I literally start talking out what I'm reading, and I make voices for each character in Baldur's Gate because there's no talking. So you know, I do my own talking. Because you got to entertain yourself.
Gotta improvise. Gotta do what you gotta do. Also, you're gonna literally go insane. You're gonna drive yourself insane.
So I mean, 2 hours of that, it can work on you. So I don't blame you. I don't at all. I think it's a good mindset to take.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I'm hoping for bigger things for the channel, for the brand. I'm hoping for bigger things. I'm hoping for partnership and bigger numbers on YouTube and sponsorship deals, but real ones, not these little fake ones. Like
proper stuff, not
stuff. Like
you're sponsored. Yeah, have a keyboard.
We're talking about not that kind of not so much sponsorship, more like a partnership with companies where we both benefit,
we have our eyes set on a certain brand, but I'm not gonna say anything. But I mean, it's
out there,
it's big. Honestly,
big
we need to get a little bit bigger than what we are right now in order to even entertain the idea.
No, much.
But I mean, I've got my eyes set on a certain company, cough. But I mean, when the time comes, it'll happen. Some people have even told us, like, oh, why didn't you apply for this and that? And you don't really want to be... Not only that, you don't want to be tied down to just one brand. Especially if you're not the biggest fan of all their products.
Exactly. That's how I am.
You just have to be careful with partnerships and sponsorships and stuff. Like, you're endorsed by this company. You gotta be so careful with how you handle the products, what you say about it. Because sometimes, I mean, we're human, we all slip up. Like, for argument's sake, I'll be playing a game, I'm like, this mouse, it's so shit, And meanwhile, back in the ranch, you didn't even pay for it, was given to you. So, I mean, you gotta be so careful. You gotta be so careful with what you say.
That's also why I say that from our side, I feel the same in your, where you guys are coming from. But from our side, I refuse to take sponsorships. Because I would rather pay for something and know that I can say it's a piece of shit if I buy it.
Yes.
Then have to talk it up even though it is a piece of shit. I'm one of those people that if I buy it myself and I say this is a piece of shit, then I've said it because I bought it and I spent my own money on it. And the company be damned, they can tell me whatever the hell they want to, but I've just used their product and it's a piece of crap.
Oh, this product is really, really good and I like using it, and in fact it's actually a really, really bad product, and someone goes on and buys that because you on your stream or on your video said that it's a good product when in fact it's not, and they say, oh, but you said that it's a good product when actually it's a really, really shit product. It's things like that you need to be careful of, and that's why it's sometimes good to buy your own
so careful.
stuff.
Yeah, but the point is, what I was saying is that kind of, when I say a partnership, not really a sponsorship, but like where a company pays us.
Yes,
where they actually pay you money
another
to
form
advertise.
of income.
Yes.
Like, for instance, Twitch is a form of income, and to diversify the incomes, where a company pays us because we use a product on the stream, or we have it advertised on the stream, but we also use the product, something like that, or somebody asks about it, or there's affiliate links and all that stuff. So we still have what they call a passive income, where anyone that clicks on that link, we get a portion of it.
Yeah.
And it adds up. that's sort of a dream. It's not feasible now. It's definitely not on the tables now. But we want to be in that position of where we're not tied down to anything, because maybe we're big enough on Twitch that we can afford to buy anything that we want or need for the stream.
Yeah.
And then if somebody goes, "Oh, you want some free stuff?" We're like, "No, actually we don't. We don't actually need it. We don't need your free stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't want your free stuff.
It's not about your free stuff.
If we don't believe in your product, we're not gonna endorse it."
Exactly.
So we will let a company pay us to endorse their product if we believe in it. That's where we want to be. That's where I'd like the channel to be, to that point of where we are so big, not like massive, not like the biggest.
I would say
but
comfortable.
big enough that a company will notice us and be like, "Can you please advertise for us?" And we can go,
Okay, well,
no.
this is how much it'll cost. Or in my case, this is how much it'll cost. It's like, I don't mind.
Negotiation.
Yeah, exactly. I don't mind advertising a company as long as their product is firstly in line with what we do. So I'm not going to have like a condom company come to us and say, "Oh, we want you to sponsor your advertise our new lube." Well, yeah, it's the most far off thing I could think of. Something that we do not do. But you have this. We want you to advertise our lube. Well, then bugger off. It's not what we do. But if you have exactly, go to some of the other Twitch people. I'm sure they'd love to advertise it. But then you look at our, you have say Microsoft approaches and says, would you advertise this game for us? We'll pay you X amount. So say it's like $1,000 for that month of advertising. I'd say sure. That's a decent enough amount of money for a 30-second. Plug of your plug of your game on 4 streams. That's fine with me, or for a plug of your streams on 10 of our videos. That's fine for me. I'll take that $1,000 for that for that. For example. But again, it's got to be within the realm of what we do, and also something that I would actually want to advertise, because again, yes. Say that when I start creating music again, I don't want to advertise Fender. I don't really like Fender because it's not my favorite guitar. But also I don't use Fender, so why would I advertise something I don't use? I use Gibson. I use older Gibsons and Ibanez. But anyway, that's you get the idea. You advertise what you want to advertise and what works for your channel and what you trust. Makes sense. Yes, it is almost 7 o'clock for you guys.
Yes.
Where can we find you on your social media platforms? Where are you? Where can we find you? Where are you available? And what do you do?
That's always just me. Okay. I live stream on Twitch Mondays to Fridays from about 10:30, 11 o'clock South African time, which is GMT +2. Every day for about 6-7 hours possibly. We also have a Twitter handle, and we have a YouTube, which we're uploading content weekly, and we have an Instagram, which we don't post much of, but we do have 2 beautiful kitties who we are posting pictures of when I can.
Very beautiful. They are so cute. They are just the cutest kitties.
2 little adopted pavement special dogs. They're absolutely beautiful. They give me grey hair, which I have some. But yeah, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, it's all OtterDenGaming. It's the handles the same everywhere.
ODG, yo.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and I wanted to say, I see maybe you noticed that there's like a Fender type guitar here in the background.
It's Tilly, isn't it?
Yeah.
There.
This is my backup guitar, the one that's allowed to gather dust. My main guitars are two Ibanez guitars.
Right. So you are an Ibanez man.
So I'm an Ibanez man, yeah.
Man of culture.
Yeah. This is
of-
the one this is the cheapie that's allowed to gather dust.
Yeah, it's distinguished. He's a man of distinguished taste. I mean, if you're going to play on a guitar, you have to play it like you do drink a fine wine.
Oh, boy, oh boy, does he love his wine.
If I had to play a classic brand, if I had to play an American brand, it would be Gibson. I've
Yeah.
tried Gibsons and Fenders, and Gibsons are much better guitars anyways.
Yeah, they're fast.
It's the shorter scale and the mahogany ebony combination. The woods
Yeah.
are just better.
Yeah, I've actually got a Gibson myself that I bought when we were up here, because try finding a cheap Ibanez here, dude. It's impossible.
Oh really?
You know,
so weird.
A cheap, good quality Ibanez. I'm not talking about the Geos, which are more. Those are more.
That's entry level stuff. That's
entry level. I'm talking about like your RGs and your SGs and things like that. Bloody hell, dude! They are so difficult to find here at a good price. I mean, most of them are going above 450 or about 600 pounds. You know, for a decent RG, and that's like an entry level RG, not even the higher range RGs.
That's expensive.
Ibanez is very expensive here, but they're worth it. I mean, they're good guitars. But I'll just wait until my Ibanez comes back up from South Africa. Until then, I'm playing on the Gibson, which will eventually become Kevin's guitar. And I'll just keep playing on my Ibanez, because I've got some beautiful single Duncans connected to the sound.
Oh, what Duncans do you have on it?
Oh god, I forget the name.
JB's Distortion?
No, they're more for clean. They're much more clean.
The like the PAF style one.
Yeah, the double humbuckers. So I've obviously got my guitar is a double humbucker guitar. So I've got two Seymour Duncans, but they're different kinds. I think the front humbucker is a more smooth sound. So when you're playing more clean things like that, and then the rear humbucker is more of a distorted sound. But if you play the two together, oh my god, dude, it sounds amazing. The kinds of sounds you can get out of the guitar if you actually play with both humbuckers, a nice overdrive. So I use my tube screamer along with a distortion pedal. Oh, dude, the sounds you can get out of the guitar.
Make me want to play. I haven't played in about 8 months.
There, you're like
I haven't played guitar in 8 months.
I know, your fingers lost all your calluses.
I've got my calluses are very sad. They're all gone. My smooth fingers now. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt like hell when you get back on.
Yeah, it's because I have a huge loud amp here in the corner. It's like 150 watts, solid state amp. So it's
oh my god,
crazy loud. It's like louder than a 1,000 watt tube amp. It's very loud. So like you can't even just put it down to like 5%. It's like starts to vibrate everything. So I need to get rid of it because I can't play with the cats. The cats basically live next to the amp. I can't play with the cats here. I'll kill their ears.
Yeah.
So my plan is to sell the amp and get like a little box to connect it to the computer, and then use digital interfaces, like those plugins.
No,
and then
like,
just play
box, yeah.
with the headphones. That'll be good enough for me.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm doing. I've got Rocksmith, but the reason why I'm playing Rocksmith is for the learning new chords and stuff like that, because I'm a rhythm guitarist. But that's what that is there for. But essentially, the entire setup with recording is I use an audio box, which is specially designed to actually record to computer, so that I can do it that way as well.
Yeah, that's what I want to do because I can't use the amp anymore. It's just too impractical.
But anyway, we're talking crap now. So
yeah, sorry.
It's not. No. Dude, we could go on for hours. We could go on for hours. The problem with being musicians.
Yeah,
Anyway, so that's where you can find OtterDenGaming people, all over the place, like literally anywhere and everywhere. For those of you who have been listening to us, thank you, OtterDen, for coming through and enjoying us. I don't know why I said for those of you who've been listening. OtterDen, thanks for coming through. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being here and entertaining our listeners and our viewers. It's obviously been a wonderful time. I had an absolute epic time talking to you guys.
Thanks for having us.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Anytime.
For those of you who are listening, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. It has been a wonderful time. That was OtterDenGaming. They are still on the screen. Unfortunately, you can't see them, but we can. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us. Hit that subscribe button down below. Hit the useless notification bell, which does absolutely nothing. And go follow OtterDenGaming on Twitch and go and join them on YouTube as well. They are creating a whole bunch of scary videos that you guys could probably enjoy there. For those of you who are listening, thank you so much for listening. Again, thank you for listening. Subscribe to us on all of those channels. I did not say that. That was why I was getting back to it. Subscribe to us on wherever you are listening at the moment. For the same thing, go and join on OtterDenGaming. And as always, remember... Good